Testing sound, testing sound. Okay, hello. Hopefully everything is working. Welcome in. I see we've got Butternips, Hap, Arkin. I think that's all I can see in the chat for now, but welcome in. We are going to be continuing the Kerbal Space Program mission that I sort of started. Did I start it last time? I think I did start it last time. So this is, bonus stream, not usual time I'm streaming at, although sometimes I might be able to stream in the evenings, my time today. But yeah, probably going to go for about 2 hours, which I think should just be enough to complete this mission. So, what we've got, this is what the plan is and what we've done so far. So, this is what happened. This is not actually last time. This was 2 times ago. But 2 times ago, while we were playing Kerbal Space Program, I got a raid from Bowlby Brook, and seeing as what I was trying to do wasn't really working, pivoted to doing... Oh, actually, New Redeem, I'll talk about this in a moment, pivoted to doing sort of a test run of what this New Redeem is going to be, and turned her mascot character, the Bud here, into a spacecraft, sort of. It didn't really work so well, which, I mean, seeing as it was about 20 minutes before I had to go, was not surprising. But in the next Kerbal Space Program stream, I went and made one that actually did go into space. We've launched it, and it's currently sitting in low Kerbal orbit waiting to be refueled, because the Bud doesn't have enough fuel to go into space on its own, but it should have enough once we've refueled it. But so like I said in chat before, I've worked out how to make redeems now. So you can see there's the default highlight message one. There's this one, which I'm hoping I haven't made too cheap. I guess I'll find out. And there's also this one. I've no idea how many points everyone has at this point, but if you press that one, the other one, redeem a, what did I call it? Make something into a spaceship. That will go into a list, which will give me ideas for future Kerbal Space Program streams. What else I can turn into a spacecraft in a similar in a similar way to the way we did Bud last time. So yeah, I don't really want anything too complicated. Haven't really got any set rules, but I could probably do a simpler sci-fi spacecraft, or maybe household objects, maybe other mascot characters. Something that we can achieve within the roughly 2 hours I typically try to stream for. So, but yeah, hopefully that somebody gets ideas for that at some point. But I think we'd better get started. So, here's Kerbal. Ooh, actually, I should bring up chat on my phone. There is one other thing. I don't think I'll need 2, but there is a small chance I need to rush off a little earlier than 6 p.m. or 18 down there on my little, like the little clock display. So, but if I do, I'll have to very quickly raid out to somebody instead. Alright, I can see chat now. Alright, let's get started. Can you guys hear the game? Wait a second. The game, I think, is just not making sound right now. So, let's go and load up. While I'm doing that, I'm going to just make sure that I can see what's going on. Yep, there we go. That works. Okay, so last time, Bud is in space in a low Kerbal orbit, and what has happened is we launched a tanker. You can see here the 2 vehicles. Oh wait, you guys can't see. Hold on. Just a sec. There we go. You can see here the 2 vehicles are really, really close to each other. So what I've been trying to do is dock them together so that I can refuel the Bud spaceship from the tanker spaceship. But last time they wouldn't dock. So, ooh, hang on, everything working? Something seems wrong with one of my mods. Those clouds looking a bit speckledy. But, so here's the situation. Oh, also, our pilot for this tanker vehicle is Arkin's Kerbal. They were the winner, or perhaps the loser, of the raffle last time. So they're currently stuck here in this tanker vehicle, which wasn't actually built to return back down to planet Kerbin. So we will see what we do with that today. We might get them back down to Earth before we send Bud to the moon, or maybe I'll need to send a rescue mission for them. But what we'll do now is I'm just going to let these spacecraft back apart a little bit, because hopefully that should reset the docking the docking ports. The docking ports, they have different modes basically. While once it's drifted back further away, it's going to start the whole sequence again. So it should have forgotten about the other docking point by now. So when I go to control this, it should reset the sequence. We should be ready to go back in. Okay. We're going to enter camera mode here. Let's see, RCS on. I'm going to enter docking mode. And try and gently get these back together. Okay, and forward. Whew. But anyway, how are you guys going today? See, there's a couple here. I think I saw some of you from other streams I watched a little earlier. Hopefully you're all doing well. Fairly quiet day for me today. But, ooh, we're drifting quite a bit. I've got to really pay attention to this, otherwise they'll become misaligned again. Because right now both spacecraft are automatically attempting to keep themselves in alignment, which is supposed to be a faster technique. But if they're not aligned themselves, it's going to end up slower. That looks pretty good. Okay, right on target. This may take a few attempts. Okay, in we go. Fingers crossed. Slowly does it. Okay. We have things lined up nicely. Docking port magnets should do the rest. Okay, magnets are pulling us in. And we've bounced. That is not a good sign. Come on. I think I'm going to need to back up again. Let's see. Ooh, is this bright enough for you guys? This time we're docking in the light. Okay, look at this. These two space objects are definitely not lined up correctly. Let's go and investigate what's going on at this end. Okay, that'll attempt to rotate to the target, but the Bud actually has no ability to... It has no ability to really aim itself. Let's make sure we're being controlled from the correct point. Yep, that's good. I might just have to do this the old-fashioned way. Instead of using the automatic target tracking thing that the kerbal gives us these days, I might just have to do this the old-fashioned way, line them up myself, and then bring them in. It might be a little bit too heavy for the technique that I was trying. Alright, let's go back. Are we in docking mode? Docking mode. That's regular mode. Docking mode. Oh, RCS is not turned on. There we go. Okay. So we want to park this thing like maybe 200 meters away. Then we're going to line up. Then we're going to put them back together. And hopefully they connect up. If not, it might be time for a plan. I don't know if I'd call it plan B, more like a plan C, where we have to launch a second spacecraft carrying pipes specifically for this, which would be kind of annoying, but let's see if I can get these lined up. So I'm going to use the RCS. We'll push this thing across. Okay, Bud is now pointing at the target. Target is now pointing at the Bud. Okay, I'm looking at the whoops, that's the wrong button. Let's let it go back just a little bit further. Okay. Looks pretty lined up. In we go. Hang on. Why is Kerbal not... Is Kerbal giving you guys any music? Hang on, let me see. Right now I can just hear the voice and the hiss of the computer fans, which I will have to learn to filter out. Wait, let's see. While we wait for... Alright, that's more like it. Let's put the music back on too. That's more like it. Okay, steady does it. Welcome in. I'm not actually quite sure how to pronounce your name out loud. Jan Martin, I guess? I know I've seen you around in other chats, but welcome in. We are attempting an unusual space mission here. This here is the mascot character of another streamer, one of my favorites. And we're going to try and land this thing on the moon. But right now it's giving us a little bit of difficulty because I am attempting to dock our fuel tanker onto this thing. Oh, there we go. There's the kerbal music. But right now these two space objects, they're not connecting very well, so I'm actually just gonna reduce my speed a bit here so I can check up on them. Okay, that thing has gone off track. It's no longer angled to target. So let's try that. If not, I might need to resort to mech jab to keep these things stable. But yeah, and Jan Martin, right? Hope you're doing all right. Yes, it's definitely not built for re-entry. I don't, fortunately, I actually did test one going into re-entry. It's mostly survived. But this one, it's got to survive a moon landing. Okay, we're drifting towards the target. Doing good, good to hear. Just woke up. Ooh, just woke up. What time was that be? Hang on. Just woke up. That's some European-ish time zones, I think. I usually have a world clock, but I don't have it up at the moment. 8 a.m. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. I am just gonna try and manually rotate these. What is this song? Oh, it's the Hecamine Rin. No, which one? Lens song. Okay, so something's not right. See, right now the automatic rotation is trying to correct, but because it drifted offside a little bit, it's not really helping a lot. So I'm actually going to disable that and try and go backwards. I should have just gone with a technique that uses pipes instead. I do have CAS mod installed on this, which gives you pipes and stuff. Okay, what's this doing? That's sitting stably. I'm going to re-rotate this back to the target. And then I'm just going to set them to hold their orientation. Because this automatic aiming thing is not working very well. Okay, and for that, rather than using the stock, I am going to use the mech jab method. An explosion simulator. I mean, you can do a lot with it just like that. Let's see if I can get this Yeah, you can make some pretty impressive explosions. Especially if you add some of the graphics mods too. Yeah, it's not the easiest. Okay, that is pointing at the target. Now I'm going to leave this on kill rotate mode. So this should keep that thing aimed right at what I'm aiming for. Now this second spaceship, piloted by our little kerbal here, Arkin, whom I'm hoping to rescue it after this, should now have a better chance of aligning with the target. The other problem is we're not in a particularly high up orbit, so at this point in rotation, like there's still, the two objects are going to drift a little bit, just the tiniest amount, but just enough that it will cause issues. So next time we'll go for a higher orbit. Okay, we're lined up. Third time lucky. Control from here. Activate camera. As long as I can keep this. No, I did put the other one in kill rotation mode, didn't I? I'm going to put this one in the same mode. Maybe a little bit of correction here and there. So I've got to get my velocity perfectly matched. That's more like it. And I'm going to move this out of the way because right now it's covering up all these little relative velocity measurements. You can see why in real spacecraft, most of this is automated. I'm up just a little bit too high once again. Okay, slowly does it. I think we're good, so I'm about to engage the cancel rotation mode instead. Now I've just got to stay on target until we get this. It's not a bad song for this. How's the bud going? Or it's not on target once again. Concentrate on this bit. Okay, fine controls needed. In we go. $25 meters away. I'm a little too far up. Now a little bit to the side. Okay, looks centered. Quick check of rotation. That's pretty close. I'm kind of going to shift you just a little bit. Uh-oh, but now we're off. Switch back, please. Why is my RCS not firing? Alright, in we go. Yeah, Kerbal, it does require, it's quite a patient game. Although I'm quite tempted to go and activate one of my automation mods if I can't get this in one more go, so that we can continue with the mod, continue with the mission. Okay, hold stable. I'm overshooting this just a little bit. It's the tricky thing when you're controlling velocity, not position. This looks pretty close. And the magnets have been engaged. It's pulling us in. Okay, we've bounced. That's not a good sign. Oh! Did you guys see that? If you look down here... wait. I need to move my PNG out of the way. Come on. Okay, we have success. So what I just saw down there, just under where my PNG tuber was, the Kerbal crew lists merged. And what that means is that both spacecraft now count as a single vehicle, which means success. Finally, we have the tanker and the Bud all considered one single spacecraft. We've got our Archon and a few other Kerbals from... oh, we had Lick in this one. A few other Kerbals who have been randomly selected from the Twitch viewers. So, yeah. But, my cup is empty, so I'm just going to pause for a sec. Grab a drink, and then we can move on to the next step, which is refueling. And then, well, we'll see whether we rescue Archon first or whether we proceed to landing on the moon. Alright, I'll be back in just a minute. Oh, sorry. Turns out I have forgot to turn the microphone back on. Thanks for that. So, we have succeeded in docking together the spacecraft. What I'm just gonna quickly do is I want to get a cool screenshot of these guys in orbit. Then, well, we got two options. So there's really two things we got to do. What's probably the hard part is the docking in the first place. Next, I'm gonna try and... well, yeah, we got two options. We can either try and get Arkin's kerbal back down to Earth, well, Kerbin, or we can go ahead and just go straight to landing on the moon. Right now, I'm thinking we do the return first, but we can't do anything until I've refueled Bud here. So let's begin piping fuel out of this. Let's see if I remember how to do this. I believe it is holding shift or maybe control. Ooh, things are spinning and shaking a lot. Let's turn a few things off. Don't need that. Don't need that. That's a bit better. Oh, hang on. Sounds wrong. Just a sec. No, that's fine. I can't actually tell. Oh yeah, that's up way too high. Hang on. Yeah, these are up way too high. Alright, how's that? How's that? Yeah, sound is very tricky. That's much better? Great. Okay, there we go. Yeah, guys, don't, like, I'm still pretty new to this, so if something's not working, it's fine to point it out so I can fix it, and then I can leave it like that for next time. But, okay, so what we're up to now is I've got to move the fuel from the tanker into the Bud spaceship so that we can then take it to the moon. And I need to remember which button that is. Is it Alt? Yes, there we go. Alright, fuel out of here, fuel into there. Nice and simple. Let's pull in fuel to all these tanks. And out of all these tanks, hopefully there's still some fuel left for Arkin to get home. Because they're not going to the moon. They are in this spacecraft. So... wait... is that going the wrong... that's going the wrong way. There we go. Let's make sure... we might actually need to do these just in pairs. Yeah, I used to play Kerbal Space Program a lot, not long after it came out. But then, well, I took a bit of a break for a while. Kerbal 2 was a bit of a disaster. I did try it. Well, it looked impressive, that's true, but it just didn't play very well. Okay, I need that tank and this tank. I'm gonna fill you up. If I leave just the fuel in this tank, that should be enough to get the tanker safely back down. How am I going for time? Okay, we've got about an hour probably. Right, that one's full. These I'm just going to leave as they are. I'm going to try and put most of the fuel into these orange Rocketdyne tanks. Gotta try and keep the fuel balanced, otherwise we will be in for a we will be in for a bad time. Okay, we've still got plenty of fuel in the tank so far. Alright, let's do... that one's full. That one's not full. Okay. Oh, just a sec. I need to turn down the heating in this room. There we go. Okay, that should be all... excuse me. That should be all 3 of the orange tanks full. Just a quick save, just in case. Oh yeah, also, I've made a special custom flag. What was I looking for? I'm going to try and hunt around to see if I can find any more fuel tanks I can fuel up. There should be 1 more at least. No, wait, 2 more. 3 more? I'm not actually sure. Okay, not there. I'm pretty sure I put 1 in the middle, and then 2 on the side, but I've got to make sure I fill them symmetrically. Almost there. Ooh. Okay, this tanker, that's out of fuel. That's out of fuel. That has a little bit left. We've still got enough in this tank, though. And it shouldn't take very much to deorbit the tanker. I mean, for real? This should really be enough fuel to get the bud to the moon, but we might as well use up all of it. Okay, there's the little small side tank. I think the bud had about 2 kilometers of delta V, but that might have been calculated for atmosphere. Right now, the number I can see down in the corner of my screen, down here in the corner, it's looking like almost 3,000. Yeah, that is 3,300. So that's more than enough. You know what, if this thing lands really stably, maybe we could even take it on a Kerbal Moons tour. Go to Minmus as well. But the goal is to get to the moon. So let's stick to that. Alright, 1 more tank to fuel up. Okay, you can also see our kerbals are right here. I don't know how well they'll be able to get back into this spacecraft, but they should definitely be right to get out. The last time I went to Minmus, there was some weird glitch that caused my spacecraft to go off. It kept flipping, even though it should have been perfectly stable. Which was weird, because I had also just landed that spacecraft on the moon, so I knew it wasn't a physics issue in the spacecraft. But sometimes Kerbal can be a bit janky, especially when you've got dozens of mods like I do. still got loads of fuel. Plenty of fuel in the tanker. Okay, if I'm gonna... Have we got... How many tanks have we got left? Yeah, okay, let's fill the small tanks here. I'm gonna try and fill all of them at once. There we go. Yeah, that should be plenty. Yeah. I think sound is probably the next stream thing I gotta work on. Because right now I can hear in the VODs that the sound of my fan from the PC is still coming through. So I gotta learn how to filter that out. Because, I mean, the computer's not getting quieter anytime soon. In fact, there's some nights that I'll actually put earplugs in when I'm doing stuff on this computer. It gets really loud if I'm like rendering something or doing some 3D modeling, or even some games can set it off quite a lot. So hopefully it's not too bad. Our fuel tanker is almost out of fuel now. So I'm looking at all these meters. Which might not be quite enough to fully fuel these last tanks. You know what I need for my PNG tuber? Wait, hang on. Sound, are you working? Ah, Digby, welcome in, welcome in. We are in the middle of a space mission. Right now, I've got the bud, like the mascot of Bowlby Brook, currently almost 100 kilometers over planet Kerbal. I have successfully docked a tanker. It's literally just stuck up the nose, because that's where the docking ports were. And it's almost fully refueled and ready to go. But yeah, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Let me think. Western Australian time. That's going to put this, for you, early afternoon, I believe? Ooh, are these tanks all full? Ooh, I think we're good. But yeah, there we go. It's a bud. Space bud. And it's just a screenshot while it's in orbit. Doing pretty well. Good to hear. Kind of gonna want to get a shot of it with the tanker in its nose before we send it on its way. Okay, but yeah, looking at the time, I can probably go for about another hour, but I actually think this was probably the harder part of the mission, getting the docking together. And we should have just enough to return this tanker back down to planet Kerbal. So I'm kind of thinking it might be cool to deorbit the tanker first, and then save our moon touchdown to be like the highlight at the end. So, one more quick save, just for good measure. Double check all of my fuel tanks. Most of them are hidden away inside this metal structure. As well as our kerbals. Yeah, this, honestly, this is almost enough to do a simple interplanetary fuel. Oh, wait, hang on. Maybe I could do that. How do I do multiple quick saves? Oh, okay. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted to do quick save as... Quick save... Wait, why is it not letting me type? There we go. There we go. That means if I want to come back to this, I can. Alright, I think we should try and get Arkin here, who's piloting our tanker, back down to the ground before we send this off to the moon. So, let's disconnect. I'm looking for disconnect. I've clicked on the wrong thing, haven't I? Undock! Here we go. Alright, once again, the two spacecraft are now separate pieces. What's the time? There's a good chance that Arkin himself is asleep at this point, because most of the kerbals I have set to different names in chat thanks to a plugin I found. So here we go. Tanker is being disconnected. We want to try and bring this thing down close to here where the Kerbal Space Center is. So let's prepare a maneuver. That's probably too much. Yeah, that'll do. Ooh, what song have we got on? Oh, this song. I like this song. I used to I used to listen to this one a lot during... Oh, you're at the Bud? Yeah. It was kind of a pain to get up there in the first place. I'm just going to turn on my brightness filter so you guys can see a little bit better. There we go. It was quite a pain to get up there in the first place. There were a couple of flips during that launch. But yeah, now that it's in space, all that's really important is the balance and that I have enough control systems on it, which I have. It's gonna be a little bit of a difficult moon landing, but I think it'll be right. Okay, we're now leaving the Bud behind. I'm going to fast forward to the burn point to attempt to try and get this tanker back down to the planet below. A little bit faster. Let's see. I've got to keep my eye on those counters down the bottom. I can also tell by when this blue mark matches really close up to one of the green marks, the retrograde marker, which you can see popping up just there. Okay, bringing it in. Burn begins in 15 seconds. Now, 12 seconds. Let's see. Stand by for burn. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin. Oh, yeah. I launched it from the planet below, yeah. So that's one of the challenges I want to do with this. Turning weird objects into a spaceship. And the Bud was kind of the first. I could have turned it into just an orbiter, or like a lander, or something like that. But I kind of wanted to see if I could do it. So it was not easy. It was very aerodynamically unstable. It flipped a lot. I had to do a lot of very careful positioning of fins to try and get the thing back up there. But it got there in the end. It still was pretty hard to fly, but it got there in the end. Alright. Burn almost complete. Cutting the engine. So this spacecraft also was not really designed for what I'm trying to do with it. So this was kind of set up quickly in the last Kerbal stream as a one-way tanker. So it doesn't really have any landing features. But seeing this is a sandbox game, I'm not really needing to worry about the cost. That might be something I'll worry about. For now, I just want to try and get Arken back down, back safely down to the ground. So we are just going to fly this thing into the atmosphere. Hopefully, the only things that explode are at the opposite end to where the Kerbal is. We're not actually re-entering particularly fast anyway. I think it's got a good chance that most of this survives. Okay, here we go. Re-entry heating has begun. As long as this end of the spaceship doesn't blow up, we're all good. I'm kind of going to help it out a little bit by reducing my velocity. I probably could have slowed down a lot more. So yeah, there's no parachutes on this thing, but there should be a parachute. Yep, look. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Didn't need that. What have we lost so far? Only solar panels. That's fine. We don't need them. We don't need them for this bit. Oh, Hopcrest, welcome in. You're just in time to see if we can get Arken back safely down to planet Kerbal without exploding. So I was just saying, this thing wasn't exactly designed to re-enter or land, but we passed safely through the re-entry heating stage. So now, all we got to do is get close enough and then bail Arken out on a parachute. Yeah, it's working fine so far. In fact, I don't think I even need these. They're probably not doing very much. But yeah, welcome in. How are you doing? Okay, we're passing through the clouds. We're still hypersonic, so you know what? I kind of am going to fire those thrusters, but I don't think they're doing much. Okay, they're not doing much. It's time to bail. Time to bail. Time to shoot. Come on, come on. That's it. Success. I was worried there for a moment that when the spacecraft hit the ground, I couldn't, it was freezing, so I couldn't see if I'd hit the button alright, but we have safely bailed out Arken, and there they are, safely drifting down. I kind of wonder if we can go and see the debris from our spaceship. How am I doing? I'm not doing too badly. Stream's been going fairly well so far. Oh, okay, I don't think we're gonna get Arken over to their spacecraft, but you're going pretty well so far. Docking the spacecraft took a little longer than expected, but that's not unusual. Okay, I'm kind of just going to leave them in the sea for now. Look at this. We can just see the remnants of our space tanker. We've got a couple of thrusters, couple of SAS modules. Those things are surprisingly tough. And wait, how can I reset the camera? There we go. Safe back on planet Kerbal, and I'm going to recover them, and then yeah, oh, the astronauts, they signed up for this, right? That's the whole thing about being a Kerbal astronaut. Like, oh, hang on, wrong face. Oh, I didn't load in time. But yeah, all back in time. See, look, there they are. Back on the manifest. Ready for their next mission, or whatever I decide to inflict upon them. So, oh, hang on. Oh, it's a pity we're not doing another launch right now, because then I could pull somebody else in as our next Kerbal pilot. But right now, it's time to do the final step of the mission. Getting this guy to the moon. which should be fairly simple. It's got more than enough fuel. Depending on how fast this goes, I might even go for a second mission. We can send it to Minmus too. All right. Here we go. Bud is in orbit, and we have just about 3,000 in Delta V. That's Delta V. I don't really know how familiar people are with Kerbal, but in rocketry, your fuel, how you measure how far you can go is basically Delta V, or your ability to change speed. Because what I need to do now is I need to increase my speed at a certain point in the orbit, which is what I'm plotting out right now, in order to put us on this big long path that'll take us back up to the moon. The first moon of planet Kerbin. So right now I'm going to need about, what have we got there? 842 meters per second. And that should just be enough to accelerate us to a trajectory which passes by the moon, which will be a little bit over here. Oh, okay. I can see an encounter. Let's see. I can technically put us on a free return trajectory by like that. I don't think we really need it though. I mean, I suspect the Bud probably would survive a crash landing, but let's go for a fast trajectory instead. That's almost too much, because I'm not seeing a periapsis, which means that our orbit is hitting the moon. Alright, there we go. Moon periapsis. It's pretty close, but that's good. Or is it? You know what? We'll work that out when we get there. Let's prepare for the maneuver. Okay, we have Lick, Maniacal, and Bill Kerman. And these guys... Ooh, something's not working. Why am I not getting... Oh, the mech jeb control is still on. Let's turn this off. This is a mod which gives you a slightly more advanced control mechanism than what the default game does. But this will be good enough for what I'm trying to do for now. I think I still need a new button. Okay, the next burn is in 7 minutes time for these kerbals. As soon as they're in position, let's hit fast. Ooh, actually, I've just noticed this version of the Bud does actually have parachutes attached. So theoretically, we could make this a return mission. I kinda want to leave them there for a bit though. All right, let's see. We'll see what happens when we get there first. Okay, here we go. Actually, oh, I've still got the brightness built on, don't I? Don't think we're gonna need that. That's better. 1 minute till burn. Let's fast forward a little bit more. Alright, 20 seconds. Actually thinking about it, you know what? I'm going to start burning now, because I'm not 100% confident in how stable this thing is. So instead of doing predicted time, I'm going to guesstimate myself. I don't really want to full throttle this thing in case it becomes unstable. Yeah, it's kind of shaky, isn't it? science instruments on this thing? So we don't really get a measurement of how much it's shaking. It's definitely shaking. But more importantly, it's stable. Our kerbal axis is rising. I'm gonna bring up the throttle a little bit more. Working well enough, not shaking itself to bits. You can see from my timer we've pretty much hit the node, that's the center of my planned maneuver. When you're doing a space maneuver, the maneuver is calculated as if it's an instant change in your spacecraft's velocity. So the reality is you kind of want to burn starting while you're on one side of the node, and then finish about an equal distance on the other side of the node. The game does calculate that for you, but sometimes it's helpful to know how to do it yourself. Okay, we're on track. Expected altitude above the moon, so that's good. We're almost there. Reducing thrust. Okay. Let's go a little more. Yeah, that'll do. I don't need the maneuver node anymore. Let's pin that. Into something similar. Oh, I've gone too far. That would crash. That would crash us into the moon. Let's see if we can come out on the other side. It'll give us a free return trajectory. Right now, we have the type of trajectory that would send us flying out into deep space if we missed. I've got delta V to spare. So let's go a little bit extra and give ourselves a free return trajectory. Oh, periapsis spotted. It's about 30 kilometers. Ooh, let's see, what song? Can I actually hear the songs? Oh, I kind of can. I don't have the sound up very much for me, because I'm not so sure if my software is going to filter it out properly. No, I'll leave that down just in case, but hope you guys enjoy. Okay, success. We are on track to visit the moon. Let's hit fast forward. Goodbye, Kerbal. Off we go. Alright, where is the moon? There it is. Alright, for our kerbals, it is now about a day later. They can't actually see out of this thing. I haven't really given them windows. Well, technically they've got windows. Just all they see. Well, that's not too bad. You can technically see them, and we're just about to enter the moon's gravity field. Here we go. Okay. Oh, the slinky. Yes. So no one has printed it yet. So the slinky from the last stream, the CAD modeling stream, I sent it to Butternips. I was gonna send it in Wacky's Discord, but I haven't done that yet. I should remember to do that afterwards. So I haven't heard back, but I expect it's going to be a pretty difficult thing to print. If I was to print it myself, I would do a couple more test prints to try and get exactly what the spacing should be between the spring and the, like the gap between the layers of the spring, basically. But, I don't know, it might be possible. I'm hoping it is, but I haven't seen yet. Yeah, so much of this game, honestly, if it wasn't for the modding community, this game would have died a long time ago. A lot of the graphics I've got, especially back in the main scene, are all coming from 3 mods: Scatterer, Environmental Visual Enhancements, and Parallax. Oh, which is powered by Copernicus. So, kerbal looks a lot better than it in my game than it does just in the base game. In fact, I might even be using a custom skybox too. I've forgotten about this. A lot of when I set up this game on my current computer, I pretty much just pulled all the stuff I had from my old install, and then anything that didn't work I went and re-downloaded. So kerbal looks so good these days. The one thing that I don't quite like so much about modern kerbal compared to the older ones, a lot of the older versions of the parts are a lot more stylish. Like the mainsail engine, it's lost its distinctive look. Like, I know some of them, like the Poodle engine, weren't that realistic, but they were just kind of iconic. Okay, hang on, are things working? I should see the moon going closer. Ooh, did something just blow up? Apparently not. But I am using a number of mods here. Some of them are not working perfectly. The moon shouldn't be stuttering like that, but I'll work that out another time. Alright, let's prepare to circularize, and then we want to land. Ooh, we got plenty of fuel still. Do we want to go for somewhere more interesting, like a polar landing? I could add a why am I forgetting the name? I could add name is escaping me right now. Is it labeled here? Normal, that's it. I can add a normal component to my burn, or specifically an anti-normal, so that we can go for a bit of a higher orbit and land somewhere a little bit more interesting. Really, for effective piloting, I should have planned that during my encounter stage, but this is not supposed to be a return mission. They're going to be forming a base. So, okay. That is going to put us on a collision course, so not like that. Okay, I'm happy with that, but one thing I'm going to do before we get closer is I'm going to go and knock these down to 50%, because when it comes to the landing, I don't I don't want to forget this before landing. Actually, let's go less. Let's go for 30, because these are designed to take off from Kerbin. So I'm going to, let's leave them at 40. I'm going to reduce the thrust quite a bit in order to give me more control when it comes to the final stages of the landing. Because I suspect we're going to have to come in quite steep, because this thing doesn't rotate very fast. And that means I can't really do sort of last minute pitch over maneuver that you'd need to do for a real efficient moon landing. But great, all 40. That should make things a little bit easier. And if I do it now, it will give me better information about how my maneuver needs to be carried out. Alright, in we go. To the maneuver. Angled correctly. Can the kerbal see anything? Not really. At least they'll be able to get a good view on the way down. Here we go. Whoosh. Close encounter with the moon. Hopefully I did quick save. Okay, burn in 1 minute. What does that look like for you guys? Oh! Welcome in, Wacky! You're just about to see... we're about to try and land a bud on the moon. So... we've successfully docked and refueled. We've successfully got to a moon orbit. Nothing important has exploded so far. And we're just about to perform our orbital insertion burn low above the moon. Well, not that low, because I feel like I'm going to need a steep descent to try and get this thing down stably. So, as long as it is on the moon in mostly one piece, then I'm calling this a success. But yeah, welcome in, Wacky. So what time? Ooh, what time is it over there? Wait, hang on. I should make sure I don't miss my burn node. Never made it off the pad? Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I have been playing this for years and years and years. I hesitate to say expert, but I'm quite experienced in doing kerbal things. A lot of it really is just patience and persistence. So there we go. Plus it can help to install a couple of extra tools. I'm mostly flying this using the base game's tools, but I've got a couple of extra things here, such as MechJam, which if I really wanted to, it will automate a bunch of stuff for me, but I'm avoiding using that. I've also got Kerbal Engineer. I might actually make a quick tweak to something right now, because this is not really where I want it. There we go. So, got a couple of extra tools which help you to do more advanced stuff. Still got to learn the basics though. Plus another big thing is, in modern Kerbal, physics is so much more stable than it used to be. Like, when I was first building things back in like 2013, rockets ended up looking like they'd been attacked by spiders, the amount of metal struts we had to put around them to make things stay together. But, I mean, I think I learned something about structural stability, at least in a virtual environment, doing that. But it's easier than it was. Okay, so the plan is to try and put Bart on a relatively high inclination orbit, try and land it somewhere around there. So, I'm just going to watch my maneuver. It's performing pretty well, actually. Let's see. Throttling down. And maneuver complete. Okay. I'm just going to quickly see how far can I spin this thing. Yeah, it's pretty slow. So... oh, Arkin was still alive. Welcome in, welcome in. I thought you were... I didn't realize you were still streaming or streaming again. My notifications haven't been working lately. But yeah, welcome in, welcome in. I'm not quite sure who else is here apart from Arkin, but I'm 1TW1. I like to do space or sciencey themed games. Every so often I will do an astronomy stream where we travel out, or well, at least I travel out to a dark sky spot with my telescope and set up a stream to broadcast from there. But right now, it was a second stream. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Right now, we are about to attempt to land this, the Bud, mascot character of Bobby Brook, on the moon, which I really only got another like 20 minutes or so to go. So, fingers crossed, we get it down. And then time to find somebody to raid. So, I've given myself quite a steep orbit. In fact, it's almost too steep at this point. Let's bring it down a little bit further. Oh, yes, I did rescue the Ark and Kerbal. You missed that. Maybe you'll have to have a look back. You got home safe and sound. Some of the spaceship blew up on the way down, but yeah, that was expected. The spaceship was not really designed to re-enter, so it was a parachute bailout type landing. So, but no, you are back in the Space Center, ready for whatever stunt you get sent out on next. Okay, I am going to try and put my Monapoapsis down to about 10, and then we're going to go for a steep descent. We've got plenty of fuel to spare, so even though we don't need much, hang on, let me just check something. Ooh, that is telling me we are not where we should be, so I need to go and get us more thrust, otherwise we will crash into the moon. Okay, let's look. That's better. That's better. Hopefully you guys can see. Oh, yep, I can see it on my second screen. Alright, let's prepare a landing maneuver, or rather a couple. I'm gonna try and... I was gonna try and go for a high actually. So let's stick to that. Whoops, wrong way. Hang on, that's what's happening. I'm getting it backwards. I'm acting as if I'm going the opposite direction around the moon. Because I was expecting to go into a prograde orbit, but instead we've got more of a retrograde orbit. Which is fine, I just need to pay attention. So, I'm going to try and drop us down with a fairly steep trajectory, somewhere over here. So I'll map out another maneuver. That is a lot steeper than I would usually do, but it's going to be fine. But yep, any landing you can work away from. Exactly, that's the plan here. So this thing's pretty tough. We might lose some engines if it's a rough landing, or maybe it might topple over, but I'm pretty confident it will survive. Alright, orbiting low over the moon for the Kerbals. The burn is going to be in 13 minutes, but we are going to fast forward. I should take another quick save, just in case. We are going to fast forward. You know what, let's use the automatic. They have that these days. Kerbal came out in what, 23, 22 for its official final version? But I have been playing this since it was first in early access. So there's a lot of little things here and there, where I will sometimes revert to the old style method. Alright, here we go. Burn in 10 seconds. Less than 10 seconds. Oop. Okay, engines work. Good to know. And begin. Now this is putting us back on a suborbital trajectory. So, we're committed now. I'm going to fast forward things up a little bit. Reduce the thrust on this to give me a little bit more control in the final landing. Looking at this, I still have 5 times the thrust ratio I need to just hover. So that should be plenty. Okay. We are committed now. Look at that. Our path takes us right down here. I think I should go... I'm pretty sure that's backwards. Maybe... Oh, Chris, welcome in. You are just in time to watch as the Bud makes its descent down to the moon. So very good timing, good timing. I actually would have liked to have done this stream later today, but other stuff I've got on changed. So it would have been really cool if I could have done this into the evening and then raided into Bolby. For anyone who don't know, this character is her mascot character, which I made when she raided during my first Kerbal Space Program stream. So Would have been cool. Didn't happen, but not much I can do. I gotta wrap up in like 15 minutes or so anyway. So, Bud here is gonna make its final descent. Audio's a little quiet. Oh, hang on. My audio or game audio? Hang on, let me have a look. The meters show my audio is pretty good. I can bring up the other one a little bit further. Oh, if it's both, you might just have to turn it up on your device. I'll bring them up a little bit. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I think I'm going to have to leave it at that. Let's see. Alright, here we go. Bud is on final descent. Let's fast forward this just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Let me see. A quick save before this. I am going to begin decelerating. I'm going to do this manually because I want to try and kill my horizontal velocity early. So that I can come down vertically. Yeah, I've turned up the sound a little, so hopefully that's good. But yeah, do let me know if the sound's not right. Still can't hear you. So the meters on my OBS are kind of just hitting below the yellow warning line. So I don't think I'm gonna change those. But if anybody else is having the same issue, let me know, because it could be. Okay, ooh. I have let this slow down quite a bit more than I should have. We've still got plenty of height over the moon. We've still got plenty of speed. So, next I'm going to try cancelling out as much of the horizontal velocity as I can, which I'm going to use one of the meters in my Kerbal Engineer mod up here to try and judge. Okay, we're still good so far. We've still got 5 kilometers to go before we start risking a crash. Okay, that's weird. I might have to look into that then if it's for both of you guys. That'll be something I'll have to do when I'm not almost crashing into the moon. Okay, horizontal velocity almost cancelled. Let's see. Okay, there's still a little bit of it. Now I need to get myself facing upwards and begin to cancel the vertical. If I ease it in gently. If it's below the yellow part that's too quiet. Oh, okay, maybe I've got this backwards. Alright, let's sort this when I'm not about to crash into the moon. Decelerating at a good rate. Here we go. Okay, we've got enough thrust. I'm gonna gently lower it down. We're still almost 700, so let's ease it down. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, maybe I did hear it wrong. Maybe... You know what, I'm just gonna boost it up a little bit more. If you guys are all having issues hearing it, let's bring this up a bit more. Alright, stand by for touchdown. No landing legs on this thing. Can we see Kerbal? You know what, let's worry about that once we're on the ground. 300 meters to go. Oh, we got lights. And slowly does it. Slowly does it. Come on. Oh, we might even have a soft landing. And engines cut. Okay, we're falling over, but that's fine. That's to be expected. As long as it doesn't fall to bits. I'm cutting all rotation. And you know what? I'm counting that. I'm counting that. There we go. Speech should regularly go into the red range. Okay, in that case, I'll bring up the speech a little bit more. And that can go up a little bit more. I don't remember if I had sound on. Oh yeah, I did. I've got that one. That can go up a bit more. Because last time we were having other issues with the audio, but it might have been a different game. But success. They've landed on the moon. I don't think they're getting off the moon, but that's okay. That on the moon was the goal. So off is a very different question. So success. All right, let's see if we can get them out. Who's going to be first? Who's going to be first? We got anybody in this crew hatch? Oh, Lick is going to be first. Hatch is obstructed, can't exit. Wait, what? But there's loads of gap. Alright, let's see if you can hop out. Well that's a little bit disappointing. So, they are on the moon, technically. But apparently, this panel is somehow too close. I'm sure I got these guys out when I tested this on Kerbal. Come on. I mean, I suppose I could... what's the time? Yeah, I really do need to learn audio stuff next, I think. But, alright, let's give this a quick go. I've got a little bit longer. Let's say another 10 minutes before I need to start thinking about wrapping this up. Okay, I am going to... Let's see if they've still got this thing. There used to be this cheaty thing. There we go. In the cheats menu. The object thrower. I'm going to see if we can just precisely knock out just these panels here to try and get our kerbals out of things. So let's give myself a tiny cube. Let's just make sure that this works still. Okay, let's check. Okay, it still works. So that's our target there. I am... one more quick save, just in case. I'm going to make one object. Nope, we need it to be small. We need it to be heavy, and we need it to be fast. Alright, fingers crossed we don't blow up anything unimportant. Did it not fire? Oh, okay, something blew up. And I think that I think that something contained our kerbals, so it is time to quick load. I think I have put the speed up of the throwing object too fast, so it clipped through what I was aiming at and just blew up our crew module instead. Oh, Talarian, welcome in. You're not right at the end. I'm going to be on for just another couple of minutes, but we're just at the end of this space mission, and where I have discovered that my kerbals can't get out. So, yeah, welcome in. So, we have successfully landed this, the Bud spaceship, which is based on the mascot character of Bobby Brook, who raided in a few streams ago. And I'm actually just going to turn this off because I don't think we need the brightness filter right now. But I have discovered that none of my kerbals can exit because apparently this hatch... Ooh, I better not... Oh, maybe this could work. Apparently this hatch is just slightly too close to this panel. So I've got a cheat enabled that I'm going to use to try and target that panel. And try and very, very carefully blow a hole in my spacecraft. So, fingers crossed. This is the panel we need to target. But yeah, hope you're going well. It's, let's see, it'd be morning. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't achieve what I hoped to achieve. One of the problems of virtual environment, of course, is that... You know what? I'm just going to reload this, so let's see what happens if I... Yeah, these panels are just too tough. Too tough, look at that. I'm going to increase the mass of these things and knock down their speed. But this is destroying the fragile crew components instead of actually removing the component that I wanted. Yeah, I agree. That might have to be what we do. That might have to be a future mission. Because I am going to go back to the last quick save and roll it back. Because what's weird is I'm sure I tested this on Kerbal and I'm sure I had them popping out, but who knows. Either way, I'm counting this as a success. We got them to the moon, that was the goal. Out on the moon. Maybe that's something that happens in the future. Oh, yeah, also, Talarian, you might have a look, I have redeems now. So I have this one, make something into a spaceship, which this was kind of like the test for, where I take something and make a spaceship out of it, basically. And of course, I discovered how sound redeems work. So that'll be coming for you guys in just a moment. Oh, there we go, I heard it. Well, Bud is on the moon. Bud is not coming off the moon. And I think that might be it for tonight. So, yeah, I don't know how to turn them down yet. I'm probably just going to have to do it in the OBS source. Yeah. Audio is weird. That's something I'm gonna... Oh, sorry about that. Audio is something I need to work on next. But I think we might wrap this up. So, yeah. Well, thanks for coming, guys. I think I should find something to raid, and then I need to think about dinner. So, yeah, maybe one thing I will do just after I raid, before I got to move on to something else, is have a quick look at how audio works, because that's definitely the thing to fix next. But, yeah. Well, thanks for coming. There may be another bonus Kerbal Space Program bonus Kerbal Space Program stream at roughly this time every couple of weeks, probably. Depends on what I've got on, basically. But I think that's time to call it there. Alright, who shall we raid? Let's have a look and see who else is on. Or if there's somebody... Ooh, okay, you know what, this could... Ooh, hang on. There's a few options. Ooh... I can see Dark Lord is on. He's one I watch occasionally. He won't be usually on this time. We've also... Another one I haven't raided yet is Aeon, who would be fun to raid too. But he's actually often on at this kind of time. I might save Aeon for another day. Let's raid this guy. So... Okay. How... Wait, wrong button. Okay, I'm going to try and raid using the command. Last time I got it wrong. Oh, Apples, welcome in. You're just here at the end, unfortunately. I've got to... Yeah, I got to wrap this up. Because I've got people coming soon, and I've got to do a few things before that. But we've successfully landed this creature on the moon, so next time. Oh, and if anyone has any ideas for another thing to land or another thing to send to space, I now have that in my redeem. But you can also just tell me, because I don't know how many points people have got just yet. But yeah, I did actually... Well, the eclipse isn't visible from my part of the world, but I was actually up at I had an alarm for just that moment so I could watch a live stream of it. Okay, let's see if this sets off a raid. Looks like I have got it working. Okay, well, thanks for coming, guys. Hopefully we'll see you guys at another stream. Alright, I guess we're ready. I'm just going to hit the raid now button so I can wrap this up. See ya!